Hello guys, this is Money Games, and on today's videos we're gonna address a question that time to time come to me, that is what approach you should do with so many heroes when you are a free to player or a very low spender. And I give you my opinion about what path you should get, in my honest opinion. And I'm gonna start talking about what is the most common choice between people that are free to play or low spender. And usually people that is on this range of spending, or they want to choose Lubu, or most of them they gonna choose Cyrus. And this is the most common ones that people pick. And before I start to give you my opinion, I would like to highlight that currently right now I am at season 6 heroes. So that is where I am. So my opinion is considering your path to the game since season 1 to season 6, and how to choose wisely between what you can get. And to talk about this, I need to, of course, present you what, in my opinion, are the best lineup on season 6. But before that, first, I would like to ask you to please, if you enjoy my videos, considering to subscribe the channel. This make a lot of difference. We are seeking now to reach the mark of 1000 subscriber, and I hope you guys help us to reach that mark. So also, if you like the video, please drop a like. This make a lot of difference if you drop a like on the video. And also on the comments of this video, in the description, you can find a link to our Discord, and we have a community that discuss a lot about the game, and feel free to join us. And thank you very much for that. And also, if you want to support me, the link for my coffee, it's also on the description. And now, getting back to the heroes that are the best, in my opinion, on this season, and I would say that are these heroes over here that I'm showing. This is the lineup that must use it on season 6. Of course, people that has King's Arthur will not be running this Miyamoto lineup over here. So this one will not be like this. Of course, from Miyamoto, you're gonna have King's Arthur. That for the big people. And also some some people will not using the Ramses lineup like I am using right here. Instead of that, they're gonna use the Archer version, right? They're gonna use Archer, and in replace for Ramses, some of them they're gonna use Suleiman. And that is what is most common among all 5 lineup, and you need to have these in considering. And there is some reasons for this. The first thing is the strongest hero among all, it's by far Lubu. Over here, you also have King's Arthur because he's a mythical hero with mythical stats, and with the addition of these 2 support heroes on this season 6, when CPO comes, it's became a way stronger. But I'm not talking about this because this is more focused on what free to plays can do. So this Lubu is for sure the strongest one, and we have his main contender, the one that can challenging him, that is the Cyrus lineup. And this is where the majority of the people will choose on their path to where to go. And now we're going to start to talk which one, in my opinion, are the pros and the cons when you choose each one of them. So the first thing is, when you talk here about Lebu, right? The three heroes over here, they're all three of them. They are real heroes, so they are access. You have access, not that difficult to get them. You have here Lubu that shows up on season 2. You have Timir that shows up on season 4. And you have Zhao Yun that shows up on season 6. So you have enough time to build each one of them, because you can use season 1 and season 2 to get empire coins, and then you're going to start to invest on Lubu. Then you're going to have the season 3 and season 4 to get empire coins, and then you start to invest on Timir. And then you're going to have the season 5 and season 6 to get empire coins, so you can finally invest on Zhao Yun, even though we know that some server they get rushed over the season, and some heroes were divided and show up earlier, but that is the main thing. Also, we can talk on the very beginning of the season. This it's much like the way you're gonna use, and on this you have Attila that show up on the wheel on season 1, and he is doable to use even at 1 star, but it's much like that you need to go at least to 3 stars with him. And of course at 5 stars he's gonna be a beast, but your main priority if you go to this lineup would be Lubu that shows up on season 2, and then you have Guan Yu that shows up on season 1, and it is from the Tavern Heroes. And the good thing about Guan Yu is that you can also find him over here, over this custom chest that shows up in main events. So there is main events that you can pick Guan Yun. I also have him on these boxes over here that I'm being honest with you, I'm not sure where they come from because I can't remember correctly. But another easy path, very easy path, is from the MGE. So wherever the position that you can reach on MGE, you can get some heads of Guan Yun, and this can helps you a lot to build him up. And then also it's important to talk that when we talk about this lineup, the rings are not difficult rings, because this lineup you're gonna need for Lubu Ring of Daisy. That is a blue ring. The material over time you can catch it, because the main strategy that you're gonna use if you were a very low spender or a free to play is take hammers from the VIP shopping. So here from VIP shopping, from only 10k Empire coins, you can easily get 20 Hummers every week. And with these 20 Hummers, what the strategy that you're gonna need to do is, on the first week, if you're spending absolutely nothing on the first week, you're gonna buy the 20 Hummers, but you will not spend any of them, not even a single one. And after, on the second week, you're gonna buy again these 20. So now you're gonna have 40 Hummers, and then what you're gonna have is, and just to see it from here that you can buy them, and back into what I'm saying, you're gonna have it that you're gonna every day, right? Every day you're gonna take the free one. This is gonna be 7. Then you're gonna summon here another 20. This is gonna be 27. Remember that you had 40, and then you're gonna need to spend 3 more. So you're gonna do 2 times 20, and then you're gonna do 3 times 1. This you're gonna spend 23 every week, and you're gonna buy 20 every week. So with these, you can for 7 weeks straight hit 30. And when you hit 30, you're gonna get extra coins coming from here. So that is the main strategy that you're gonna follow to get Hummers. And with this strategy, right, you can easily reach this level 30 for Ring of Daisy. That is the best ring that majority of the people gonna have access. There is some krakens that can go for Radiant Thunder, but that is for big kraken that can pass from level 40 to 50. Otherwise, most of the people will use Ring of Daisy, include myself. I also use Ring of Daisy on him. And the other rings for the other two heroes are not that difficult also, because you're gonna use over here the ring of Night Wolf on your hero that has the highest the highest the highest might. And for your third ring, you can choose between use a second purple one if you feel that that is the easiest path to go because you were very, very low spender or free to play, or you can use just one golden ring that can be Trunkly Water, Celestial Spark, or Lofty Mountain. And that is my suggestion if you want to go with one of each color, or you can go with double purple. That it's pretty easy for this lineup, right? And then you need, if you're gonna choose this path, you need to get Lubu to Attila to at least 3 stars. That is what it should do, and you're gonna get Guan Yun and get him over MG badge and level up him as much as you can. And with these, you have a very, very, very low spender and very strong from season 2, season 3, season 4 lineup, 5, and at season 4 you're gonna start to Timir gonna show up, and you can spin for him. But I would like to tell you to save for Zhao Yun, even though you can spin for Timir to unlock him, so you can spin to 20 over him, unlock him, and then you're gonna have Timir that already at 1 star, he is strong enough to beat what Guan Yun can bring to your lineup. So you can try to use him at 1 or 3 stars. It's up to you if you're gonna get your Attila to 5 stars. That depends on how strong you're gonna be and how much you can save, right? And then at season 6, you're gonna finally replace Attila for Zhao Yun, and this one is where you're gonna heavily spend again because you need to bring this big boy to 5 stars also. So your main focus is gonna be from season 1 and 2. You need to save as much as you can for Lebu so you can bring him as fast as possible to 5 stars. Attila, you can stop at 3. Timur is the same, stop at 3, maybe 1. Guan Yu, from the time that you get him to the end, you're gonna start up him with Tavern, Lucky, or with MGE, and that is for this lineup. And then the other option is when we talk about the must choice one and the ones that most of the free to play can have access to, is here at Cyrus lineup. And here we start to have a big problem. And and then I'm gonna start about the people that choose as a free to play to go to this path. Because the first thing is the main hero that is Cyrus, he only show up at season 4 and not before that. And until Cyrus shows up, Pikeman is just absolutely not good at all. He's completely bad in my opinion. You should not use Pikeman at all before season 4. So you're gonna be very weak on season 1, 2, and 3 because you choose to follow the path of Pikeman. That if you were a very low spender or a free to play, there is no much to do because you need to follow and invest heavily in one hero direction, in my opinion. So you have this boy that comes from season 4. Also, you're gonna need Mensa Musa, and he comes on season 3. So you're gonna need to invest in a hero that comes on season 3. Then you're gonna need to heavily invest on a hero that will come on season 4. And also, in my opinion, if you not have Vlad, this lineup, it's not that good. And he comes on season 5. So you're gonna be stressed by need to invest in a hero on season 3, in another hero on season 4, and again in another hero on season 5, even though you can save from season 1, 2, and 3 to start to invest on season 4. In my opinion, this is more stressful way to do so. You, of course, after you get Mensa Musa on season 3, right, and Cyrus on season 4, this lineup gonna start to work because even though you still not on the best setup that is on season 5, you can start to use this way. That is using over here Barbarossa. Barbarossa is available size season 1. He is a completely, you can now, because of the MGE, you can catch him from a free to play source. So you can catch his heads from the MG event and open the chest and getting him and level up him. Size season 1, he's aware available, but on season 1, if I remember correctly, you need to pay for him to unlock him. So when he start to show up on MG wheels, then you can start to get him from MG heroes. On this case, you're gonna have these from MGE, this one on season 3, and this one on season 4, even though this is not the strongest configuration. So it's not exactly the best setup. The best setup, you need to replace this boy for Vlad. That is the way I think, the way in my opinion. And also another option is that you can replace this position over here with Boudica, but to do so, you're gonna have a more aggressive version with more damage. And to do this, it's not the best setup for a low spender because a low spender gonna have, or a free to play gonna have less defense. So you need more what Fred can Frederic Barbarossa can add to your lineup than if you use to go with Boudica, in my opinion. And you're gonna use another hero that is a wheel hero that you're gonna need at some point to replace him and put Vlad on this position. So getting back to Vlad, where are you, little Vlad? Sorry, here. And talking back with Vlad, then comes another bad thing about this lineup, on my opinion. The first thing is this ring, in my opinion, is mandatory. And now we are talking different from the option that you have on Lubu, that you can use Tranquil Water, that is 1.6k tokens to unlock, or you can use Lofty Mountain, that also is only 1.50k, 1.60k, or you can use Celestial Spark, that one's gonna be 4k, or you can use the Ring of Bear, that is a second purple ring, that it's not that expensive, it's only 600 tokens, and you can use the purple material to level up. Here, no. Here, you need to unlock this ring. If you don't have this ring, in my opinion, it's too bad. So this is mandatory. So you need to work on this ring. And also, to build a good one, right? You're gonna need also to have Trunkly Water in this lineup. Without Trunkly Water, in my opinion, this lineup, it's not that great because you're gonna lose a big damage reduction. But also, if you were a low spender or a free to play, this boy here gonna have low numbers because you need to invest on Means of Destruction that's here, and also to invest on Tranquil Water that is here, and it's very expensive to work on golden rings. So you're gonna end up working with workaround rings and ending up to get from here and use Ring of Dare for example, or go for Lion Ring, or like even for more lower budget ring like a Clover ring. And these options are not the best. And when you go to the
Maybe,
third
yeah,
spot, you
it's
come
time to reveal
again that the best setup
the true
is
stranger on TV.
using one more golden
Dirty
ring.
movement.
So
She
now we
wants to
start to
cut
we
it
start
up.
to talk about a
Attenzione,
very
chiaspezzepe.
expensive rings
Bentrovici.
lineup, because you need three golden rings and this is very expensive. Of course, on this third ring, you can use Ring of Boar, and with Ring of Boar, you're gonna decrease the amount that you spend, even though this again it's more oriented to damage wise than to the defense wise. So yeah, in this scenario, it's more for the big boys that want to do more and more damage, in my opinion. So, and when we talk about this, is that, and this is what I would like to highlight, that Cyrus, to be properly built and become stronger, you need you need to invest a lot. And believe me, that is really needed, because when I tell you that you need to invest a lot, is people that has Lubu with that configuration, that the rings are Daisy, Night Wolf, and for example, in my case, Celestial Spark. But you can use Tranquil Water, you can use Lofty Mountain, that is less uh, expensive rings. You can also use Ring of Bear, that is a very good ring. You're gonna see that pikemen's with a very heavily good configuration, they're gonna have a big difficult. And look to these. These are rings 47, Celestial Spark level 20, and Message of Destruction level 30, with all the skills on level 40. He also, of course, has still on tier 7 while my Lubu is tier 8. But when you look to how expensive is this setup versus this setup, it's a big, big gap between these two setups, because here you need to take a long way to go to reach the scenario over here. And believe me, you're gonna find free to play with level 40 uh, Night Wolf, or close to level 40 Night Wolf, because they have gonna have a big focus on that with level 30 Daisy for sure. And with a good ring here, that's gonna be probably level 15, maybe 20 in a Trunkly Water. That is still a good one. So it's going to be very difficult to you to compete in this scenario, because to be a competitive, you're going to need to have this. And I can show you that this guy is big. He has good numbers when you compare what we have in both sides. The might attack, it's not that different. Of course, the health is where when you have more difference over here, because mine is already a T8, he's still not. So, and I was not using my best gems on DJG, because DJG was with the secondary gems, one of the main gems was with my Timir at that time. That was this fight. But that is what I would like to highlight to you. And this is not a single case, right? This happened many times. Like here again, it's another person that he has a completely 5 stars, Cyrus, that he's trying to beat Milo Boo. And you can see that the gap here, it's even higher. He's only take 33k of my units. Of course, we are not in similar power, and I am already at T8. But again, you can see that the rings are all golden rings, because it's what we need for this lineup. And these gonna follow you wherever you go. And that is the main reason that, in my opinion, you should not try as a free to play the path for a pikeman and go for the path for Lubu. And more than that is the fact that this lineup over here has a big problem if you try to join rallies. Yes, you're gonna have a very bad times if you try to use Cyrus on rallies, because if you need to be over a big presser, what that means that your rally need to be being completely overwhelmed to your Cyrus work properly, because you need to fight with more than one target. And in rallies, these will not go very well for you, so it's not gonna be that perfect. So you're gonna be forced to play on field. And if you were play on field, you're gonna need to play against the big boys, because is where they will be. And when you talk about the big boys, they all have swordsmen. So you're gonna see Miyamoto's and Ramses over the field, and you're gonna need to defend yourself against them with your free-to-play pikeman that you would love to destroy Lubu and find someone at your level. But the truth is, the people at your level that are playing with Lubu, they can go and jump inside the rally, stay behind of the big boys swordsmen, and play from there, while you with Cyrus cannot. So over time, in my opinion, the strategy for a low spender is to go, in my opinion, for Lubu. And as I say many times on my Discord, and every time that anyone asks me, in my opinion, Lupu lineup is completely mandatory. And it's how I see these two lineups over here. It's what I would suggest you, because you're gonna have easy path for rings. You're gonna have easy times because you can join rallies. Of course, on season 4, when Cyrus shows up and many uh, Belisarius Elizabeth lineups gonna start to be on the field, and on rallies you're gonna struggle for a little bit until season 6, when these all gonna completely disappear from rallies, because there you're gonna go back with Scipio, and then Miyamoto gonna work in rallies as much more as King Sartre is gonna become a beast on rallies. In Lubu, we'll have a big burst with Zhao Yun, and this will be enough to you to defend yourself if the Cyrus that you were fighting is not at your level of invest. And because you're gonna be playing size season 2, you're gonna have more rewards overall, because you're gonna have a competitive lineup size season 2, while someone that is playing with Cyrus only will be start to be competitive after season 4, and it's when they're gonna start to build up their hero. So it's kind of that. It's my opinion overall. I would love to hear about your thoughts over these two lineups over here. Oh, and another good thing is that when we talk here about damage distribution, right? For the majority of the time until season 6, most of your damage it's concentrate only on Lubu, so you can focus on give only to him your best gems. So your best might gems goes to Lubu, and your best secondary strike gems goes all to Lubu and no one else. And even when Zhao Yun shows up and you have a secondary damage on your lineup, you only need to him its might gems. You don't need to give to him attack gems. So your secondary strike is going to be all of them on Lubu, what is a way easier. But when you talk about this lineup over here, you're going to need to use passive gems on two heroes, making your passive gems a way weaker, because you have to spread them between two heroes, and this is a way more difficult. And another thing is, some heroes on Lobo lineup can work at lower star level. So for example, if you are using Timir at 3 stars, he's okay to go, but when we talk about Cyrus, you need the full completely lineup at 5 stars. And that is the way I see, and I would suggest to people, if you are start to play right now, or if you are with still with options to go, in my opinion, so far what information that we have till season 6 is the best path for a free to play. It's go to Lubu's side, of course. And to not pass over the other lineups, I would like to talk about them very quickly. That if you're talking about Ramses, you again gonna have a problem here, that this lineup only work at field. So you're gonna need to fight on field. So again, you're gonna have problems against the big boys, because they're gonna be on field. And more than that, you're gonna need again another lineup that need here to be 5 stars. This one cannot be 5, but yeah, you need to have him 5 at least. And Zhao Yun, Zuliang, sorry, Zuliang, it's okay at 3, he's already okay. But the problem is, again, you're gonna be limited to the field fight. For the other swordsman, if you are completely free to play, you can't get this lineup. If you have at least $1 to spend, right, you can unlock this hero over here. So it's a good way to go because you can just unlock him. If I remember well, the first chest is just $1. I'm almost sure about that. That you can unlock him for just $1, and then you're gonna need to use golden heads to level up him, and then be except by this that you're gonna need golden heads to level up your Miyamoto. The other two, it's okay to go, even though it's gonna be tough to you to go to this path because Lagarta only shows up at season 4 and CPO only at season 6. So you're gonna need to wait a lot to this lineup become one of the good ones for the meta, and is still far, far, far away from what Lubu can be. And then you have this lineup over here that is very, very expensive because you need a 5 stars from a hero that is from season 1, and then you need the MG hero from season 1, and you need the other hero is from season 6, and this is a support lineup that does not do much damage. So I would say that it's a no for a low spender or free to play, and this is my opinion. So if you were thinking about to go in a free-to-play path, you can 3-star these, you can go here to 5, and when these show up, you're gonna try to replace your Attila, and you need to also give this boy to 5 stars. At 3 stars, you already can replace, and at 5, it's gonna be good, but you need to work to get Zaoyun to 5. So that's it. Thank you very much. This for today episode. I hope that you had enjoyed and get insights from a path that a free to play can go at least till season 6. This is what we know so far. Thank you so much, and I catch you on the next one.